So starting in our usual seated position, just taking a moment to kind of align the spine and make sure everything feels loose and relaxed. If you're comfortable with your eyes closed, you can do that. And then just take a big inhale through the nose, big exhale through the mouth. And just kind of settle in, feeling into each and every part of your anatomy so that you know what you're working with this morning. Start deepening your breath. Ujjayi breathing is preferable. And then we take stock of thought patterns and emotions. We notice what our energy is, and we decide what we most need from our practice today so that we can set our intention. When you're clear on your intention for your practice, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take an extra deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out your mouth. Let's go ahead and come to standing at the front of the mat. So beginning in Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are really firmly planted on the mat. We feel the mat. We feel the floor beneath the mat. We feel the earth beneath the floor. So we're really connecting downwards, really lifting up through the crown of the head. Just kind of feel that nice straight spine, all your muscles waking up and engaging to hug the bones. Palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up, stretch. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, relax your neck, and hang in ragdoll. Fingertips beside toe tips. Look up and lengthen halfway. And then take your first proper forward bend, which might mean the knees are still bent. You're just trying to get your torso to your thighs. And then we're going to step back with our left foot. Just come into your lunge. Take a couple breaths, allowing the body to just kind of prepare for movement. Left knee's gonna drop down. Arms are up and overhead. Pelvis is tilting. Hips are moving forward. We're saying good morning to that left front hip. On your next exhale, if it feels okay, just open out to your right. Palms are forward. Your arms are kind of like a T. You still want to keep your pelvis tilted. You want to feel this on the front of your left hip. And then we're going to bring the hands on either side of the right foot and extend the right leg. Flex the ankle and toes. Try and get your spine to lengthen forward. So we want our right leg straight if possible. We want the chest to pull forward, the foot to dorsiflex, so that we're really feeling the stretch on the back of the right leg. From here, we're going to step it back to plank. Take an extra breath in your plank, just kind of letting your core wake up and engage. And then our first time down, we're going to modify. So I'll let you drop down knees, chest, and chin. And then you can untuck your toes, flatten out, slide the arms forward. And let's just do a nice spine lengthening Sphinx. So you want your glutes disengaged, shoulders down the back, heart is pulling forward. You're actually pulling with your arms, trying to create a little length in the low back. And then we'll take our first down dog. So any little movements you need to do, that's fine. And after you've kind of felt your way into it, make sure your fingers are spread out, that your palms are as flat as you can get them, that you have space between your ears and shoulders, space between the shoulder blades, hips press up and back, and heels press down. Couple more breaths here. Big step forward with the left foot. So now we're in our lunge on the left. Just letting the body adapt here for a moment. And then we'll drop the right knee down. Bring the arms up and overhead. Tilt your pelvis back. Heart lifts. Hips move forward until you feel this on the front of your right hip. On your next exhale, if it feels okay, you're going to open out to the left. Arms are kind of like a T. Right hip is still moving forward. Pelvis is still tilted. And then hands come down on either side of the left foot. And we extend the left leg, flex the left ankle, lengthen the spine, and get into the left hamstring. From here, go ahead and step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. This time we're going to step back with the right foot. Plant your right hand. Take your left hand up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to bring the left hand down inside the left foot. Spin the right foot flat. Take your right hand to the ceiling. Bring your right hand back down, spin back onto the right toes. Come on to your right forearm, maybe the left. Hands on either side of the left foot, gaze forward, and begin to straighten your left leg. From here, we're going to step it back to plank position. Flow through the vinyasa of your choice. Be mindful of breath, shoulders, alignment, all of that good stuff. And then step forward with your right foot. Keep your left hand planted. Take your right hand up towards the ceiling. Then we're going to bring the right hand down inside the right foot. Spin the left heel flat. Take your left hand towards the ceiling. Left hand comes back down, swivel back onto your left toes, drop your left forearm down, and then maybe the right. Hands on either side of the right foot. Gaze forward for a flat back and begin to extend your right leg. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up and stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, back down. So we're going to be stepping left leg back, spin your heel flat, adjust the feet if you need to. Come on up, warrior one. As much as possible, left leg is straight, right knee is bent, hips are rotated forward, pelvis is slightly tilted. And then from here, I want you to bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and just lift the chest and slightly roll it back. It's kind of like you're sliding your hands down the back of the left thigh. Now, come back up, fingers still interlaced, fold forward, right shoulder to right thigh, relax the neck, reach the arms up and overhead now. Come all the way back up. Release the arms, up and overhead. Now we're going to bring the arms in front of us, palms facing down. I want your right arm on bottom, left arm on top. Cross it over, bend the elbows. Palms together if you can, fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Shoulders pull down the back, elbows lift slightly and press forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch between your shoulder blades. Take a couple of breaths. If you can, we're just going to finish off the pose. You're going to step your left foot forward, wrap it around that right leg. So your left thigh is tightly crossing your right. Chest is lifted, tailbone is dropping. If you can, step your left leg back where you got it. Release the arms up and overhead. And then take your hands to the mat, step back to plank, and flow through a vinyasa. From here, we're going to step the left foot forward. Spin the right foot flat, adjust your feet if you need to. Warrior one on the left. So your left knee is bent, tracking over the second toe. Right leg is straight, right heel is flat, hips are forward, arms are overhead. Pelvis is slightly tilted. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, but you're just going to kind of slide your hands down the back of the right thigh. Come back up, fingers are still interlaced. Fold forward, taking your left shoulder to your left thigh, relaxing the neck, reaching the arms up and overhead. Come all the way back up, releasing the arms, warrior one. Then we're going to bring the hands in front of us, palms facing down. This time your left arm is on the bottom, right arm crosses over it. Palms together if you can. Shoulders pull down the back, elbows lift and push forward. Just take a moment savoring this nice upper back stretch. And if you can, complete the pose, excuse me, by lifting off right thigh tightly, crossing left. So you're still letting the tailbone drop, keeping the heart lifted. If you can, you're just gonna unwind your right leg, put it back where you got it, warrior one, arms up and overhead. And then we'll take the hands to the mat, step it back to plank, take another vinyasa. And really just stretch and lengthen. From here, drop down to your knees for a moment. Just coming into half heart opener, Ardha Anahadasana. Left forearm across the front of the mat. You're gonna let your forehead rest on your left forearm. Reach your right arm as strongly as you can out in front of you while pulling the tailbone back and allowing the right armpit to sink. And you don't let your right arm relax. Your right elbow should never, ever be on the floor. You're reaching strongly in both directions so that the muscles stretch. And as you allow them to just kind of slowly move towards the floor, that's where the stretch comes in. You should feel it in your right armpit. Come on up and we'll switch sides. Right forearm across the front of the mat. So remember, your left arm is very strongly reaching out. That means your left elbow is completely straight. Tailbone pulls back. All of that maintains, and you allow that left armpit to kind of just start sagging down towards the floor. That's where the stretch comes in. But your left arm is still very active and the tailbone reaches back. Come back up, hands and knees. And now we go into threading the needle very specifically for just stretching the back. So no funniness here. We're gonna keep the left hand exactly where it is right now. No variations on that. No extending it, no getting lazy. Left hand stays exactly where it is. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, scoop it underneath. Your left elbow is bent. The best thing you can do is look at your left arm. If your left forearm is vertical and your elbow is off the ground, then you're in the right spot so that you can push with your and roll a little bit into that right shoulder blade so that you feel a true deep stretch, and then you breathe into it. And then just come on out of that. Again, you're perfectly aligned, hands and knees. Right hand stays exactly where it is. No reaching overhead. I'm not sure where that started, but for now, for today, please, right hand where it is. Left arm reaches underneath. Your right forearm should be straight up and down. Right elbow bent and off the ground. Your left arm is underneath you, and then you push with your right arm and roll into your left shoulder blade. Use your breath. And come on out of that. Step back to plank. Take your full vinyasa. So as you're really lengthening and stretching in this downward facing dog, bring your awareness to your whole upper torso. I want you to feel openness in both armpits, openness across the upper back and the chest and the shoulders. So the idea is to lengthen the spine and have no compression anywhere. Everything is open. Notice how when everything is open, the breath moves really freely. And then you can either walk or jump forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So let's keep working with opening the upper torso. I'm going to have you reach up, grab your left wrist with your right hand. I want you to pull enough that the left arm straightens and you actually feel that left shoulder blade lift a little bit. Maintain that amount of tension on the left side and then lean to your right. So this is a nice deep side bend, but if you maintain, instead of just hanging out with a bent elbow, if you actually keep tension on that left side, you're going to feel it from like tricep, lat, ribcage. It's really a lovely, complete upper torso stretch. Then you use your breath and stretch even deeper. Come on up, switch sides. I apologize, I'm not mirroring you this morning, so y'all go the opposite way. You're going to grab your right wrist with your left hand. Pull the arm straight and then pull a little more until you feel your right shoulder blade lift, and then maintain that amount of tension on the right side of the body and lean to your left. And so the idea is you're really stretching out the whole upper torso, and then you can use your breath to enhance that. Come on back up from that, release your arms, roll your shoulders back a couple of times. Then bring your palms together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, standing forward bend. Inhale up halfway. Exhale all the way back down. Step back with your left leg, spin the heel flat, come up into warrior two. Just finding warrior two, holding for a moment. And then we're going to do reverse warrior. So I want you to put your left hand on your left side, flip that right hand palm up, reach it up and overhead. Keep your right knee bent and really allow yourself to open on the right side today. So if you have a place that you normally go and you stop and put weight on your left hand, I'm going to encourage you to not put weight on your left hand. Maybe flip it palm up and just let it keep sliding down the left leg. Reach through a very straight right arm. So if you have a drapey, bent right elbow, you're missing out on part of the stretch. Come all the way back up. Straighten your right leg. Let's take our time here. Kick your hips to the left. Both legs totally straight. Reach that right arm out to the right until you feel like you couldn't possibly reach any farther. Now here's the deal. I want you to keep your right arm parallel to the ground, reaching strongly. Just take your left hand up towards the ceiling. Keep reaching through your right leg. Reaching through the right arm. Reaching through the right leg, reaching through the right arm, right side of the spine, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. No curving here. 2 more breaths. Come back up, bend your right knee, warrior two. Take the hands all the way down, step it back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. Remember to really feel for openness all the way around the entire upper torso in your down dog. There should be no compression or pinching or tightening in any muscles in the upper torso. They're all open. Step the left foot forward, spin the right foot flat, warrior two. Just taking a moment to find your alignment here. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Left hand flips palm up, and you reach up and over. Now, once you get there, keep your left arm very straight. Flip your right hand palm up and just let it slide a little farther down the right leg maybe, so no weight on that right hand. Left arm should be very straight. Come all the way back up. Straighten your left leg, and we'll take our time here. Right hip kicks to the right. Left arm reaches, reaches, reaches to the left. In this position, you should feel lots of length on the left side of the spine. We're going to maintain that. We're going to take your right hand to the ceiling and keep reaching. So at no point should your left side curve or round or arch. You're just continuing to lengthen through the left arm, lengthen through the left leg, lengthen through the left arm, lengthen through the left leg, lengthen through the left side of the spine. Come back up into your warrior two. I'm going to take your hands to the mat and flow through vinyasa. Look for that sense of openness in the upper torso. And I want you to either walk or jump forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Let your hands come by your sides for a moment. And I want you to just really feel complete openness in your upper torso in your Tadasana. So old school way of thinking to have a straight spine was to pull the shoulders back, right? But if you pull your shoulders back, you're squeezing and compressing between the shoulder blades, not a great idea. So what we're looking for is complete openness in the upper torso. So the first thing I'd like you to do is lift your sternum up, center of the chest lifts. Arms relax, upper back also expands. So what you should feel is your shoulders are away from your ears. Your chest and the front of the shoulders are not compressing. None of the back of the shoulders or upper back muscles are compressing. You have space in your upper torso, 360 degrees, all the way around. Take a couple of breaths here. And then I want you to inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bring them out to the side. Palms are facing up. Thumbs point behind you. Really lift your sternum now and reach the arms back as though you're trying to touch your thumbs together. So now you're feeling chest is stretching, upper back is contracting. So right now, if you're strongly pulling your thumbs behind you as though you're trying to touch them, you're feeling some tightening and contracting between the shoulder blades and on the back of the shoulders. Take 2 more breaths. And then come back up, flip your palms, right arm on bottom, left arm on top. We've already done this. It's the arm position for Garudasana. Now I want you to draw 3 big slow circles in each direction with your elbows and feel how that feels in the upper back. Now you're stretching all of that stuff that was just contracting. And vice versa. Now your chest is contracted and the upper back is stretching. Make sure you go both directions. And then release your arms and roll your shoulders back. We're going to do the same thing with Garudasana arms, but this time your left arm is on bottom, right arm is on top. Wrap them. So the same thing, shoulders pull down, elbows slightly lift and push forward. You want to find the stretch first. Then you take those 3 big circles in each direction. So you should feel all sorts of exciting stuff going on in the upper back. Good, release the arms down and roll the shoulders back. Palms together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale and look up halfway. Exhale, back down. So you can either walk or jump back to plank. Take a vinyasa. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then drop down to your knees. So this will be our final, like, really big pose and counter pose for the upper torso. You've already done half heart opener, and we're doing full heart opener. For this one, the thighs stay vertical. In other words, your hips are going to stay aligned over the knees. The arms begin to extend. Remember, they have to stay very straight. So either the forehead comes to the mat or the chest. It depends on your flexibility this morning. And you still allow the armpits to sink down. Come back up from that. Pause for breath. So it depends on your body. We're either doing traditional balasana, child's pose, or if you don't have neck issues and you feel comfortable with it, we're going to take it all the way into rabbit. So knees are together if you can. Buns to heels if you can. Hands by feet, palms up, round down, and get your forehead to the mat. This is enough. If you got neck issues, just hang out here. If you feel like you can, you're going to reach back and actually grab your heels. Fingers are on the inside, thumbs are on the outside. We take the top of the head as close to the knees as possible. Move slowly if you have neck issues. You begin to lift your backside. So basically, it's like your head is rolling up underneath you. But you got to make sure your neck is okay with it. Coming out of that, if you were in it, slide forward into a sphinx. Let's lengthen out. You'll feel it stretch your abdomen a little bit too, which should have been quite contracted if you moved into rabbit. Take a couple more breaths here, lengthening in your sphinx. You've earned it. And then do one final downward facing dog. Press the tailbone up and back. Just stretch. Remember, lengthen your spine, press your heels down, and make sure you feel openness all the way around your upper torso. And then you may either walk or jump forward. Have a seat with your legs crossed. Just an easy cross-legged position, if that works for you. So we continue with some of this opening. I want you to put your left hand on the mat. I apologize again, I'm not mirroring these, so whatever I'm doing, you're going the other way. Your left hand is going to go on the ground on your mat. And you're just going to kind of keep it off to the side with the right glute very firmly planted. We're not sliding it too far out yet. I want you to bring your right hand behind your head. Just kind of roll your chest open towards the ceiling and try and point that right elbow up. So you're feeling a gentle stretch, right side of the torso, right armpit. Now, slide your left arm out, keep the right glute planted, and extend your right arm, really reaching through right fingertips. Now we're enhancing the stretch, deep breathing. As we come up, we're gonna turn this into a really gentle seated twist. Your right arm is gonna come around behind you. Left hand is on the right knee, chest lifts for a straight spine. You're just gonna twist and look over your right shoulder. Slide your right hand off to the side of your body now, not too far out. Left glute still very planted. Left hand behind the head. Now we try and point that left elbow towards the ceiling, roll the chest open a little bit, take a couple of breaths. Slide the right hand farther out, keeping left glute planted. Extend that left arm really straight. Really stretch to the left side of your torso. Now this left arm is just going to swing around behind us, right hand on the left knee, straight spine, as we twist and look over the left shoulder. Rotate back to the front. Put your hands on your knees. Seated cat-cow, chin stays parallel to the ground. You inhale, you really push your ribcage forward. You exhale, you really pull the ribcage back. Inhale, chest is forward. Exhale, upper back rounds. One more time. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, back rounds. Come on up, roll your shoulders back. Go ahead and extend your right leg. Left foot's gonna stay just kind of snugged into the right thigh. Lean out over your right leg. Take a few breaths, lengthening over your right hamstring. So wherever your left hand is probably a great place for it to stay. Your right hand is going to come by your right hip. The left hand's going to slide to the outside or right side of your right something. So you're either grabbing the outside of your right foot or ankle or calf. Look down at your left elbow. That's the one in front of you. It must bend, even if it's a little bit. Bend it and pull. And then keep that tension. That's very important. So the right hand is by the right hip. You're pulling with your left arm, the bent elbow, and then you push with your right hand and begin to twist and look over that right shoulder. Now you may need to fine tune this, like leaning farther forward, twisting a little more, kind of play with it, tweak it till it's just perfect. You should feel this as a great stretch behind your left shoulder blade. Then you can use your breath and really open up. Come on up from that. Just pick your left knee up so it's pointing at the ceiling. And now we're going to twist to the left a little bit deeper. So you can either hug your left knee with your right arm, left hand behind you, or you can bring your right arm outside your left knee or thigh. Just twist and look over your left shoulder. Rotate back around, extend your left leg. You can wiggle both legs. You're gonna keep your left leg straight now. Right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. We're gonna lean out over the left leg and take a few breaths here. Now, wherever your right hand is, again, it's probably the right spot for it. You're just gonna let it slide over to the outside of the left foot or ankle or calf, whatever you're grabbing. Your left hand is beside your left hip. The first thing you do is you look at your right elbow and you bend it. Doesn't matter how much, but it must be bent and you're pulling. That means your right bicep is engaged. Keep that engagement. So important to make the stretch work. So you're pulling with the right arm, you're pushing a little bit with that left hand for leverage. So you're twisting to your left, but you keep pulling yourself forward, keeping that right elbow bent. Fine tune it till you get a really nice stretch behind your right shoulder blade, and then breathe into that. Come on up from that. Just pick your right knee up so your foot's flat. You're twisting to the right now. Your right hand is behind you. You can either hug the right knee or go ahead and bring right arm outside of it. Twist and look over right shoulder. Go ahead and rotate around to the front. Extend your right leg. Give them both a good wiggle. And roll down onto your back. Hug the knees in. Side to side rock. So if you feel like you can, we're going to do 3 breaths in bridge, followed by 3 breaths in plow. If that's not an option for you inversion-wise, then you can just do one or the other or neither, whatever works for you this morning. But if you can, feet are flat, big toes are touching, heels are separated. I want you to just lift your hips and really lift your chest. So you're pushing through your feet, breathing, really lifting the rib cage to get the heart to open. And then slowly lowering down and allowing the legs to come up and overhead. If you need to, hips can be in the hands. Slowly coming back down, hugging the knees. Feel free to rock side to side. And I want you to keep your knees bent and together and simply drop them over to the right with your left arm opening out to the left. That was your last front body, back body opener combo. So bridge opens up the chest, plow opens up the upper back. Now your gentle spinal twist, you might feel a little openness through the left side of the chest, but most likely you're just feeling a nice relaxed sensation as your spine rotates. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring those legs back up. And as you exhale, you can just drop them over to the left. Let your right arm open out to the right. So same thing, you're just allowing your body to kind of start to soften. Your chest on the right side should feel pretty open. Upper back should feel open. Just getting some nice, yummy spinal rotation, nothing extreme. It should all feel good. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up. Give them a good hug. Rock side to side. And then put your feet together on the mat with the knees bent, ankles and knees together. Just coordinating with your breathing. Slow hip roll. Knees drop to one side on an exhale. You inhale them back up. You exhale them the other way. I suggest starting with smaller movements, moving into bigger and bigger ones if that feels good to you. So not just assuming that you need a full twist, try it the other way. Stay focused on your breathing and move with your breath. We'll go one more time on each side. Next time that your knees are pointing straight up towards the ceiling, pause. And then on your next exhale, let the knees drop open, let the soles of the feet touch each other on the mat. Just pause for a breath here. There's a very gentle, natural arch in your low back here. Just feel that. And then the next time you inhale, press your low back into the mat. So the pelvis back so that your whole low back is touching the mat now. That means that the low back muscles are lengthening. Hold that for another breath. And then the next time you exhale, you can just relax. Begin to extend your legs, separate your feet. Bring your hands below your shoulders, preferably with your palms facing up. And then really pause. Make sure everything feels long, spacious, open, and relaxed. So everything from feet to hips to shoulders to jaw and eyes, everything. Close your eyes if they're not already. Take a deep breath in. Big sigh. Let your body relax and just nestle down towards the floor. Let your breathing soften and do whatever it needs to do. So the cool thing is our breath always adapts to whatever our physical needs are for oxygen, right? That's why when you're exercising or running or something, your breath gets deeper and faster. It's because you need more oxygen. So when we're really relaxed, like we are during Shavasana, your breath slows down and gets shallower because there's less need for oxygen. So it's a really nice way to tell how relaxed you are based on your breath. So as everything settles down and gets quiet, I want you to just keep your focus on your breath. You're just noticing it, you're just watching it. And I want you to notice how very much like an ocean wave your breath is. It's like you can feel the swell as it rises in the belly and kind of moves towards the chest. It's like a gentle swell on the ocean. And then you kind of feel your chest sink and your belly sink as you exhale. It's just this beautiful swell. Imagine an open ocean swell. Imagine that you can see it and that it's moving in time to your breath. You're not changing or manipulating the breath, you're just watching it. And just feeling and imagining that you can see how very much like an ocean swell your breath is. If your mind wanders, and it most likely will try to, just come back to the ocean swell that is your breath. Allow the image of the ocean swell to slowly fade. Allow your focus to shift from your breath into your body. So just noticing how the muscles feel, how your bones feel, your joints. How do your joints feel? What about your internal organs? Basically, how does everything feel? Start bringing a little bit of movement back to your body, however that feels good to you. I always say move fingers and toes, but maybe you would rather flutter your eyelids or move your head. You get to do what you want. Start to deepen your breath so that on your next deep inhale, you can do a baby stretch. I usually say fingers and toes, but again, do it your way. Exhale and relax. And then on your next deep breath in, really big stretch, giant stretch. And again, exhale through the mouth with a sigh as you relax. Bend your knees and just pause for a moment. So whether that means your feet are on the mat and you just got your knees pointing at the ceiling, or whether you're hugging your knees into your chest, just wait for a moment. Hold it, breathe. Then when you're ready, you're gonna roll to your right side and just lie on your right side with your knees bent. Basically, you're in the fetal position. Hold it for another breath if you can. And then go ahead and press yourself up into sitting. As you come to your seated position, just find that nice straight aligned spine. Shoulders are relaxed. And again, kind of a good sensory marker is, do you feel openness all the way around your upper torso? Your shoulder blades are not squeezing together. Neither is your chest. So your shoulders aren't hunched forward, but they're also not pinned back. You've just got space all the way around. Shoulders are neutral. Head is balanced on top of the spine, and you feel pretty good. It's an indication that you're aligned. For our pranayama today, we're going to do Nadi Shodhana. It's a true alternate nostril breath. And so we're going to do it as an equal breath today. Samavriti, which means the inhale and the exhale are exactly the same. I'm going to talk you through the first one at a 6-second interval, but feel free to lengthen that if it's too short, or shorten it if it's too long, because after the first one, I'll turn you loose to do a couple of rounds on your own so that you can be fully immersed in it. Just a reminder, you need to use the right hand to block the nostrils. So you can put the first 2 fingers of your right hand in the center of the forehead if you like, or you can tuck them under the pad of the thumb. Your right thumb is blocking your right nostril. Your ring and pinky finger blocks the left. So take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Inhale through the left side. Exhale through the right side. Inhale right. And exhale left. That was one round. Continue on your own, your count. As you finish out this third round, release the right hand down. I want you to just pause. Eyes closed. Spine straight. Shoulders relaxed. Breathing is normal. Slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment in gratitude for the physical practice that allows us to release physical tension, that allows us to strengthen and lengthen our muscles and align our bones. Gratitude for the breath practice, the pranayama, that helps us learn to balance our nadis, our energy channels, and turn inward. And then gratitude for our higher consciousness. I like to think of it as the self with a capital S. That's the part of you that knows all of this, recognizes it, watches it, witnesses it. Take one more huge deep breath in through the nose. Exhale with a happy sigh. We bring our palms to our foreheads, and this just reminds us to stay present, to be in the moment as much as possible. We bring our palms together in front of our mouths, and it reminds us to speak our truth. And we bring our palms together in front of our hearts, and this reminds us to keep our hearts open, to always practice kindness, compassion, understanding, and love. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I love practicing with you. Namaste.